This video is aimed at anybody who has an existing world and then has added either my mod or any other mods, I guess, that have changed the blocks. Now the reason I'm making this video is because I had somebody who did exactly the same thing, and I then went and investigated ways around it. There's two issues I'm trying to solve here. First of all, to try and get rid of the unknown blocks that you get in your land once you remove the mod. And then also what I found is that it crashes every now and again. I first tried to recreate this problem and was able to recreate it. And then after looking at the logs and then searching it up on the AI a bit, it basically told me that this is an error with the spawning blocks. So where I'm spawning my wind items and stuff like that. So for example, on each of my crystal spawn, I've got a block in the center which spawns a wind guy, or in the temples and all of the structures, I've also generally got a block there that spawns them too. The first thing you would do is right click on your world, go to settings, make sure the AuraMagic mod is enabled. Then you save the world and start it up. Then what you do is you press enter. This brings up the command prompt. Then you type /op self, op space self. Now I was already the op, so I'm just going to do it again and make myself the op. Then next you type /game mode, and you can press tab to auto complete, and then creative, and again tab, and then enter. And I'm already there. Then once you got that, then you press enter again, /backup. Now the reason why I'm doing a backup is so if you do anything wrong from here on, you can easily sort it out. And I'm just going to quit to main menu. The first solution to this problem is to restore an old backup, and that's the most simplest. Now this is the backup I just made with the mod enabled. If you do have a backup before you enabled the mod and you didn't play a lot and you're willing to just go back to that, then probably the best thing to do now is then restore one of those previous backups. And since you've got a backup of the current world, you can just go back there again if you want to. So restore one of these backups and just go see what the world looks like. If you're happy with that, then stay with it. If you're not happy, then restore the backup we just made here. Now I'm going to go back into the world, which I have the mod enabled. The solution to the problem really depends on how many changes you've made to your map before you added the mod. Now if you've done huge changes and then you've installed the mod and you've then re-explored and stuff like that, then this next approach will probably be valid for you. I've added a new command called Aurasettings. So if you press enter and /aura and then autocomplete tab, then you press enter. What it will do is it will give you two settings, spawnBlocks and removeBlocks. SpawnBlocks true and removeBlocks false are the defaults. SpawnBlocks set to true will generate all the wind structures in the world, including the crystals and stuff like that. So you need to set that to false. And removeBlocks is going to be used later on, so you just leave that as is. So how you set that is you type /or settings again, and then you say spawnBlocks, so that one, and just type tab, and then it'll tell you it's set it to false. In other words, those structures over there will stop spawning. If you don't have my mod installed and you're trying to get rid of another mod, you'll have to then find another way of disabling their spawning. Probably asking the mod developer how to do it, or to add it as a feature as I've done it here. And I'm just going to quit to main menu. To find your world folder, you right click on your world and go to settings, and then you click here, open folder. Universe is what you're interested in, so open that, then you click on worlds and select default and then chunks. You notice it's 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, -1. Now this doesn't represent one chunk, since one chunk is 32 by 32 blocks and 320 high. This represents 32 chunks by 32 chunks. So that's 0 to 1023 by 0 to 1023. And if you go delete one of these files, and then open the game, it will regenerate it. Now that we've turned off the generation, we can then get rid of chunks that don't have data in it. Before you delete anything here, you go back to your world, you press F7, then you'll get your current location, your chunk, stuff like that up here. And probably the chunk is the most useful one. And then if you want to go faster, you press F2. If you want to go slower, you press F1. And F1 is the normal speed, so I'm just going to go up to 15. So that's, and then get my direction. So I want to go to 0, chunk 0, and chunk 0. Okay, so block. Okay, so I'm going to go slow again because I can't figure out what I'm doing. There. Okay. So middle click will select the current block you're looking at. So I want to just grab a sand block, should be good enough. So what I'm trying to do now is see if this idea works. So that should be the start of the first chunk. And so that's your Z location. And then that's your X location. Well, it just resets the time so you don't have to worry about it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some stuff randomly around here. I'm going to exit the game. So you see I've made a block there, block here, and this long statue here. And what I'm going to do is just make another block against here and one against here. So what it should do is it should remove this line here, remove that, and not anything else that I've added, including those two blocks there. So I'm going to exit out of the game, put to main menu, delete that file. So now as you can see, everything there and there has removed, but these two blocks and all of this junk here is still here. So now using that information, you go to your structures and get the locations of them. So later on, what I'll be doing is a practical example of this, but for now, that's how the chunks work. The idea is you're saving only the chunks that you have got stuff in it, and you're deleting everything else. And by doing that, you only have to deal with one chunk at a time. Yes, it's still quite a big area, but at least you're minimizing the area a lot. Now once you've got to the point where you've removed all your unnecessary chunks and you're just left with ones which you have structures in, then what you should do is another backup. So again, it's just /backup, and then you'll have another save spot. Then the next thing, okay, I'm just going to go there, go faster. So this is a good spot full of my structures. Let's let myself down. Then press enter, type /Aurasettings again, and then space, and then removeBlocks, and then press tab. What this will do is every time you stop moving, it will start removing blocks around you. I've got it in a 3-chunk radius, so as you can see it hasn't removed anything there, but it's removed everything around here. So I'll just move closer there. It shouldn't remove blocks while you're moving. So so now you see it's now removed everything. So it won't remove non-blocks. So as you see, it hasn't removed any of this, but this is your standard, and it won't remove entities. So the entities will despawn naturally. But as you can see, this whole area is now cleared out. So what you do is you just then move around, so you can probably go a bit faster and move to areas that you can find crystals, and then they'll just disappear. Then you move to the next area. So once you've gone to your world and you've moved around and you're quite sure that most of the blocks are gone, then press enter, and then / backup again. Doing these incremental backups all the time will help if something goes wrong. Then what you want to do is escape, quit to main menu. So right click on your world, go to mods, turn the AuraMagic mod off, then open your world, then travel around the world and see if you can find any bad blocks or if it crashes again. Okay, I'm just going to increase my speed. Now, of course, with this world I haven't gone and removed chunks, so I'm expecting to find tons of stuff everywhere. So I'll just go to area, probably down here. See, now it's crashed. So then what you would do is you would go back into your world and then carry on with that idea. So right click on your world, enable the mod, then reopen the world. When you exit the game and come back in, even though you got the flag enabled, you will notice that it's not removing the blocks. So what you have to do is press enter, set it off, and then set it back on, and then it'll start removing the blocks. Another thing to do while you're removing blocks is press F7 and just make sure you're always in that chunk. Then what you can do is methodically go through the chunk and remove everything. Again, if you're using this on another mod, then it really depends where their blocks are spawned. If their blocks are under the ground, it'll be way more difficult, and they probably won't have a tool like this to auto-remove their blocks. Another option is to use the creative menu. So what you can do is you can press tab, it opens up this, and then you select the last tab here, and you take the brush tool. So if I press right click, it will add it, but if you press normal click, it will actually remove it. Then if you press tab here, you can set the size to be quite a bit larger. I mean, obviously you don't want it like massive, and you can get rid of stuff like that. So the nice thing obviously about this is now it will remove all the blocks. So I guess what you could do is you could have my functionality on and then have this brush selected and then go around and delete stuff you don't want while it's getting rid of all the crystals. And that's probably the quickest way of doing it. And then again, make backups so in case you do something like that and then delete the wrong thing. Then end up with a big hole and you want to go back again. Next I'm going to be trying this with one of my existing worlds. I made a copy of my video release and called it remove mod test. So the first thing you do is right click, enable the mod. I think you can do a backup without being an up. That would actually make sense. No, you have to be up. So then you go up itself. Then back up. You might as well set the game mode to creative. Quit to main menu. Worlds, right click. So worlds, right click, settings, go to the world. Then check your backups. Now obviously you can see that I've got quite a few here. And that's the one that I've just done now. If there's a backup that you think is relevant, you would restore it, check it, and if you're happy with it, you can stop at that point. I'm not going to be happy with it, so I can continue the process. Okay, open the folder, and I'm just going to open Universe, Worlds, Default, and Chunks. Now you'll see I've been through quite a large area in here. And I'm going to leave that open, and I'm going to start the game. One thing I like doing is, you can say midday, but I'll just use 12 because that's a little bit earlier than midday. And then you can see what you're doing. And then speed up is F2, speed down is F1. So, like I said earlier. Now, I want to keep this, so press F7. So 13 minus 21. Next, where else have I been? So I've got a base here, but this base there's hardly anything at. So what I would probably do with this is not keep it. So I've got this little base here, so I wouldn't really want to keep it. And then I've got this base here, so I probably... yeah, this has got a portal. Yeah, I probably would want to keep this. So here's another one, 468. So what you would do to find out the coordinates, if it's like very high numbers, is you just divide it by 32. So 13 divided by 32 is 0, and 21 divided by 32 is 0 again, and it's a negative, but I'm assuming it just goes to 1. So I'll need to check that. Then 4 divided by 32 is 0, and 68 divided by 32 is, so that would be 0, 1, 2, so it's 2. Before I delete anything, what I want to do is just turn the spawning off. So / or settings, tab, spawnBlocks, and then that set it to false. Next, I'm going to delete the chunks. Put to main menu. So I'm going to select everything. So it's 0, -1 that I want to keep, and then the other one 0, 2. 0, 2. That one. So I'm going to delete everything else. Now remembering I made a backup, so if something goes bad I can just restore it and then all of this will come back again. Delete. Then you go back into the game. Now I just want to confirm, so this is still here, that's good. And then I'm going to go all the way back again to the other place and confirm that that's still there. Okay, so this is still here as well. So then next you press F7. What I'm doing now is working out where the boundaries are. So it's down there somewhere. Oh, you could probably put map markers. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Now I've got a good idea where my blocks are. So you can see it from here to here, and then goes up to there, and then somewhere over here. So all I've got to do is go around this whole area and then clear it all out. So the first thing I do is spawnBlocks. So removeBlocks, and then enter. And then the other thing I'm going to do is give myself the paintbrush and set the size to reasonable. Now that's interesting. So the blocks did delete, but they didn't show up on the map. So they didn't update. So you might run into that problem. So again, I have to stop and start the removeBlocks. So if you are getting blocks that are not deleting, it looks like it's a visual bug. Because they did delete. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with this idea. I think I've done everything. So then of course now you can go and then delete these, but I'm just going to leave them here. So what I want to do is just confirm that it's deleted. So there's this large mountain up here with loads of stuff. Now that should be out of the range of my stuff, so there should be nothing here now. Yeah, so this whole place was full of everything, so that's gone. So that confirms it's working here. And so I might have some spawners hiding here that I can't see, but I think I've got rid of most stuff. What's that? Yes, like there's something. Yeah, so it's again one of those bugs where it is gone, but it's still just showing here. So at this point I'm happy with this chunk. So /backup, then I exit the world and switch the mod off. Right click in the world, mods, switch the mod off. So now I've still got my castle, game's not crashing. I'm just going to fly around here because I might have missed something. So see if it crashes anywhere. Okay, I'll probably use a map for this. So it seems to be good. So with other mods, this is obviously going to take quite a while longer to get rid of. My routine doesn't remove the benches, so I'm just going to go in my house. Okay, this place was where my sprites were farming. So I still got this here. So now I can't get rid of this, but what you should be able to do is just paint it out. So if I select one block here, and then click like that, and the hole here, then that's how you remove those type of benches. Okay, so that's all good. I don't think there's anything else here. And then everything else should be fine now. Anyway, I haven't done the other side of the map yet, but this is good enough for this. It shows you how you get rid of it. I hope this is helpful to you. Thanks for watching and goodbye.